Have you ever sat at the toilet and thought about what you were doing? I mean, why do we do these things? Why does our body need to do these things? What is it that makes it all possible? I wonder.
I was thinking about food, thinking about me, thinking about us, what we gon' eat, oh my ass, yeah, what we gonna eat.
Today's topic, digestion.
Your digestive system started working even before you took the first bite of your food. When you smell a tasty food, see it, or think about it, digestion begins. Saliva or spit begins to form in your mouth, and the digestive system will be busy at work on your chewed-up lunch for the next few hours, or sometimes days, depending upon what you've eaten. This process, called digestion, allows your body to get the nutrients and energy it needs from the food you eat. Most of the digestive organs, like the stomach and the intestines, are tube-like and contain the food as it makes its way through the body. The digestive system is essentially a long twisting tube that runs from the mouth to the anus, plus a few other organs like the liver and pancreas, that produce or store the digestive chemicals. So, you're probably wondering, how is food digested? Digestion involves mixing food with digestive juices, moving it through the digestive tract, and breaking down large molecules of food into smaller molecules. Digestion begins in the mouth when you chew and swallow, and is completed in the small intestine. So we could easily say that digestion is the mechanical and chemical breakdown of food, and that digestion is a form of catabolism, a breakdown of large food molecules to smaller ones. Well, let's see how it all works. The start of the process is in the mouth. Food is partly broken down by the process of chewing and by the chemical action of salivary enzymes. These enzymes are produced by the salivary glands and break down starches into smaller molecules. When food enters the esophagus, which is right after being chewed and swallowed, the esophagus is a long tube that runs from the mouth to the stomach. It uses rhythmic wave-like muscle movements called peristalsis to force food from the throat into the stomach. This muscle movement gives us the ability to eat or drink when we're upside down. Epiglottis, the flap at the back of the tongue that keeps chewed food from going down the windpipe to the lungs. When you swallow, the epiglottis automatically closes. When you breathe, the epiglottis opens so that air can go in and out of the windpipe. Well, in the stomach. The stomach is a large sac-like organ that churns the food and bathes it in a very strong acid, gastric acid. Food in the stomach that is partly digested and mixed with stomach acids is called chyme. Chyme. Food in the stomach that is partly digested and mixed with stomach acids. Chyme goes on to the small intestine for further digestion. After being in the stomach, food enters the duodenum, the first part of the small intestine. It then enters the jejunum, and then the ileum, the final part of the small intestine. In the small intestine, bile produced in the liver and stored in the gallbladder, pancreatic enzymes and other digestive enzymes produced by the inner wall of the small intestine help in the breakdown of food. Bile is a digestive chemical that is produced in the liver, stored in the gallbladder, and secreted into the small intestine. The wall of the small intestine contains millions of finger-like projections called villi. Their finger-like shape greatly increases the surface area of the intestine, thereby speeding up the overall rate of absorption. Absorption is the process by which the nutrients of food move from the small intestine into the bloodstream. Each villus contains a lymphatic vessel called a lacteal, which is adapted to receive fatty acids from the microvilli. And each villus contains a network of capillaries that delivers oxygen to the microvilli so that they can perform cell respiration. Microvilli are hundreds of microscopic cells that project into the intestinal lumen from the villus. Like the villus, each microvillus is finger-shaped to further increase the surface area of the intestine for faster absorption. Microvilli are extremely small cells, a feature that allows nutrients to pass through them quickly. The liver and the pancreas have very important roles in the digestive system. The liver is a large organ located above and in front of the stomach. It filters toxins from the blood and makes bile, which breaks down fats and some blood proteins. While the pancreas is an enzyme-producing gland located below the stomach and above the intestines. Enzymes from the pancreas help in the digestion of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins in the small intestine. So, why are the liver and pancreas so important in the digestion? Your liver secretes bile into your small intestine. The bile contains worn-out red blood cells that must be removed from the body. If the old red blood cells are not removed, they can become toxic. The bile secreted by your liver also separates the fats that you eat so that they can be broken down by enzymes. Fat clumps together, and when bile is not secreted into the small intestine, your enzymes are less efficient at breaking down fats into their fatty acid components. The enzymes that break down these separated fats come from the pancreas, as do those enzymes that break down carbohydrates and proteins. The pancreas also secretes a basic solution that neutralizes the acidic solution left over from the stomach. The pancreas also secretes insulin, which helps move glucose, blood sugar, from blood into cells. Diabetes is a common and very serious disease that results from lack of insulin. So without the liver or the pancreas, there could really not be any digestion in the digestive system. After passing through the small intestine, food passes into the large intestine. In the large intestine, some of the water and electrolytes, chemicals like sodium, are removed from the food. Many microbes in the large intestine help in the digestion process. The first part of the large intestine is called the cecum. The appendix is connected to the cecum. Food then travels upward in the ascending colon. The food travels across the abdomen in the transverse colon, goes back down the other side of the body in the descending colon, and then through the sigmoid colon. And finally, the end of the process. Solid waste is then stored in the rectum until it is excreted via the anus.